We'll be installing CakePHP on Linux. We're going to use the command line for our installation. For this course, I will be using the Ubuntu operating system, but the process is similar on other flavors of Linux. Our initial setup environment will be based off the LAMP stack, which consists of Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. Make sure your PHP version is 5.2.8 or higher. Also, for your MySQL, you'll need to have your username and password handy, and we'll be creating a catalog database for our course. Additionally, you should already have CakePHP downloaded. Next, we'll configure CakePHP. I like to keep all of my websites together, so off of my home directory, I've created a folder named Websites, and inside there, I've made a folder named Catalog, and that's where I've stored my CakePHP. Next, we're going to change the permissions on the CakePHP app temp folder. After that, we're going to alter two files in the CakePHP app config folder. Then we're going to configure our Apache web server. We're going to alter the etc host file and add the word catalog after the local host. This will allow us to have a pretty URL. Instead of having to type in localhost/catalog, we'll be able to type in just catalog. Next, we're going to create a new virtual host file. This tells Apache where our website is located. Then we'll enable that virtual host file. Then we'll reload Apache. This allows Apache to recognize the changes that we have made to the configuration. Alright, let's get to it. Before we install CakePHP through the terminal on our Linux machine, we want to make sure Apache is working. I'm going to type in localhost and hit enter, and if your Apache is running correctly, you will see the default landing page. Then I also want to go over to phpMyAdmin. When MySQL is installed on a Linux machine, it prompts you to give a password. So we can't use root and an open password. We need to actually use root in whatever password we set for it. I have already gone in here and set a username and password for Pluralsight. My password's Pluralsight. I'm going to hit go. And we want to create a new database for our site. So new database is catalog. We don't need to add any tables to our database. We just need to have the database created before installing CakePHP. This will prevent CakePHP from trying to connect to a database that doesn't exist. Now that we know that Apache is working and phpMyAdmin is functioning, and that we've created a catalog database, we're ready to install CakePHP via the terminal on our Linux machine. I'm currently in my home directory. I like to keep everything separate, so I've made a folder and put in a catalog directory that's holding my CakePHP. So I'm just going to change directories to website and my catalog folder. And inside is the contents of CakePHP. There are two files that we need to alter. They're located in the app config folder. And those files are core.php and database.php.default. We'll first edit that core.php file. Inside this file, we're looking for a salt and a cipher seed. These default values are compared when CakePHP is installed, and if you have the same values as the default values, CakePHP will give you a warning. We are going to go ahead and change these values to prevent the warning from displaying on our CakePHP homepage. The salt can have lowercase and uppercase alphabet characters and also consist of integers. There are a few sites out there that will generate a random string for you. I like TextMechanic. If we go to their site, textmechanic.com, You can see they have a lot of text manipulations available. We are looking for the random string generator. When you click on the link, you will see the default element input values. They are already filled with the values that we need. We just need to adjust the output options. We are only needing one string, and we want this string to be a length of about 40. Go ahead and click Generate. Voila! Our new salt value. I'm going to go ahead and copy this value and head back over to the terminal. And here I'll paste it in. Now we need to add a random number for our cipher seed. The cipher seed can only be integers. So we're going to head back over to textmechanic.com and we're going to alter our string generator values. I'm going to go ahead and delete the alphabet from the input elements. This leaves just the numbers. I'm going to shorten our string length to be about 30, and I'll hit generate. Our new string is ready. I'm going to go ahead and copy it and switch back over to the terminal and paste in the new value. The edits for this file are complete, so I'm going to go ahead and save and exit out of the editor. The first thing we need to edit on the database.php.default file is the actual file name. It can't have .default on it, so we're just going to do a copy on it and remove that .default. From there, we're going to edit that database file. The file is rather short. We're going to scroll down and you'll see these two variables at the very bottom. We're just going to concern ourselves with this default variable. The local host and data source and persistent will all stay the same. We're going to change our login, and I've already made a username for our database, which is Pluralsight, something very simple. And we're going to need to change our password. Our last edit that we need to do to this file is change the database to the new database name that we created earlier, which is catalog. And that's it. We're done with the file. The last edit we need to do for our CakePHP configuration is to give read-write permissions to our temp folder. In order to do that, we're just going to do chmod. We want recursion all the way down that temp folder, and 777, and that should do it. Now if I list the directory, you'll notice it changed another color, indicating that it has special permissions. And if you do list all, and you'll see that it has read, write, and execute for all levels. Now we're going to go and edit. I'm just going to open a new tab. We're going to go and edit our Apache configuration so we can have nice clean URLs. Our first file that we're going to edit is going to be the Etsy host file. You'll notice that it already has an entrance for localhost. We want to add to that. We do not want to take that away. So we want to add catalog to that. And we're going to write and quit. Our next edit is going to be a virtual host file in the sites available. That will tell Apache where our CakePHP files are located for them to be served up to the user. So we're going to change directories. In here we're going to copy the default virtual host file and create one called catalog. Now we're going to edit that catalog virtual host file. Our first edit, we're going to add a server name of catalog. Now we're going to change the document root. This is going to be the location of where our CakePHP files currently reside. So it's in my home directory. My username is Pluralsight. I have the website and the catalog. Now this is the document root according to us, but for CakePHP, the actual root directory is in the app/web root folder. We also need to alter that same path right here, home, Pluralsight, websites, catalog, app. While we're in here, we're also going to allow the override to be all. CakePHP makes nice URLs, and in order to do that, it needs to have the rewrite rules, and this allow override will allow that to happen. We're going to write and quit, and from here we want to enable our site, Apache to enable, site, and catalog. And it says enabling site catalog, and then we need to reactivate the Apache, and it's nice because it gives the command right there, Apache and reload. And what we're looking for is the OK sign over here. Now if we are to open up our web browser and we type in catalog, you'll notice that there are some messages that CakePHP provides saying that you've done everything correctly, hence the green color. But there's one down here that's yellow, and it just tells you that the debug kit is not installed. Since we're not covering the debug kit in this course, I'm not going to go over the installation of it. Congratulations, you've just installed CakePHP via the terminal.